Stellaris is a game that I am in love with. It's easily my most played game, my most streamed game, and the game that's given me the most when it comes to streaming opportunities. I'm also a role player, and I found that yes, while it's fun to min-match your way through a galaxy making all of the correct choices based on stats, timings and calculations, it is equally as fun, if not more so, to simply say, my empire would do this because they're a militarist xenophobe, and your empire smells like space cheese, and proceed to lose horribly. So when Mega Corporations was released in December of 2018, it opened my eyes to a new way of playing Stellaris, a way in fact that has remained my favourite ever since. The beauty of a Mega Corporation is that once you've finally forged a good enough relationship with your fellow space neighbours, and have them sign a solid commercial pact, you can then spend credits and influence opening up branch offices on planets with enough population, which will give you an initial credit boost, but then as the planets continue to develop, more opportunities arise through the specialist holdings, giving access to a wide variety of research boosts, from science to naval cap and even more money. The civics get a huge renovation as well, with ones you would recognise with a Mega Corporation twist, but others that aim to boost your revenue and branch office output that are unique to the Mega Corporation themselves. But one civic always calls to me, saying things like, "This time it could work," or "They'll never know, come on Dolphin, give us another shot." And that civic is, of course, criminal heritage. Now, unlike other civics, this one cannot be removed once you launch the game with it active, and it will generate far more issues than it will ever generate credits. Allow me to explain why. As an empire with criminal heritage, you won't require permission to build branch offices on other empire planets. No commercial pact, no friendly relations. The only thing you need is enough intel on the empire to know where their planets are, and then you can go ahead and plant down as many branch offices as you like. The holdings are given different but cool names like illicit research labs, underground clubs, and pirate-free havens, all of which get my roleplay juices flowing. The idea of having thumping techno clubs open only to the elite of their empire, getting them in on your schemes, the secrets that are told through drunken egotistical banter, or the experiments being run on the population to further your own medical research. The role-playing brain goes bzzz. However, as a criminal syndicate, you will now live and die by the most underdeveloped, most annoying mechanic in the game. The kind of mechanic that causes an initial twitch of anxiety, but is then removed and forgotten about within a few months, and that is, of course, crime. Normal Mega Corporations generate money and other planet bonuses, kind of like you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours kind of thing, which is great, as it means that AI are less likely to kick you off your commercial pact, and other players can negotiate with you what holdings are built and where, which is fun and amazing and great. Criminal syndicates, for every holding you build, you generate an amount of crime. The more crime you generate, the more money you make, but the more crime you create, the more likely that AI will simply plonk down an upgraded precinct building and remove you from their planets. And they won't like you for it either. Upon cleaning their streets of your criminal filth, they will then remove the entire branch office, its buildings, and the generated trade from their planet and your bottom line, meaning that you could find yourself in a very bad financial situation if the AI, or indeed players, deem the crime not fun, and activate all of the decisions to make your life difficult. This really frustrates me, because while it's fun to roleplay as a dastardly criminal empire whose entire existence is based around hedonism, debauchery and crime, the actual gameplay payoffs are non-existent, at least in a normal AI game. In co-op, you can have your friend or friends create penal colonies for you to infest with crime and profit from. But unfortunately that requires them to basically sacrifice a planet, and unless that planet is heavily populated you won't be making much from it. So, having given this some thought, I came up with a few ways I would like them to change how criminal heritage works, mainly from a role-playing perspective. Let's start with the beginning, the front. In no universe would a criminal syndicate advertise the fact that they are a criminal syndicate. They would go through legit channels in order to carry out their dastardly underhanded deals, weave themselves into the very fabric of your civilization, until they're able to carry out deals under the very noses of those charged with stopping them. When you first make contact with an empire, they shouldn't immediately know that you deal in crime. You should present just like any other mega corporation, but secretly hiding behind a carefully constructed backstory, shell companies and forged documents of legitimacy. You should be able to build the holdings, yes, but instead of instantly generating crime, You should be given options. Like the espionage operations event chains, if you build some illicit research labs, you could have several options that yield various pros and cons, such as test new drug. It could have 3 options: short-term use, medium-term use, and long-term use. Generate a flat science output or boost your overall research speeds. But the longer you run them, the more crime you make and risk discovery. Underground clubs could generate a lot of short-term revenue, but if you throw one party too many, it might trigger a riot event for the other empire, or simply add some devastation and crime, thus raising suspicion on your actual motivations. So how would an affected empire see these shenanigans? Well, they would be none the wiser at first, but maybe, if they have a lot of enforcers and police on their planets, then they might pick up on some stuff. They might be able to crack down on it from ever getting out of hand. But only when they have a significant spy network advantage over the criminal syndicate will their true nature be revealed. And then, and only then, can they look to remove them. Or, maybe, embrace their practices. For a cut, of course. I know this system sounds complex and I haven't gone into too much detail. I wanted to keep the video relatively short, but trust me when I say that a high percentage of people who want to play as a criminal syndicate want to do so from a roleplay point of view. Maybe this would require an overhaul of the crime mechanics as a whole, and I for one would welcome it. But until then, I would love to see some modifications to the criminal heritage, as I think it has the potential to be one of the best and unique ways of playing Stellaris.